This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
If Earth suddenly had to be evacuated, and I was limited to grabbing the 10 best people to save, Watterson would definitely be in there. There is a point where you stop rating people. You just rate them among the best. Can I say that Mozart is better than the Beatles? I can't. I can just say that they both have gone above the cloud layer and are up there near the sun. They both are on that short list of things that are essential. Watterson is an essential. Brad Bird, Academy Award-winning director of Ratatouille and The Incredibles. I was a die-hard Calvin and Hobbes fan from the moment I first stumbled across it in the Utica Observer-Dispatch in 1987. Its creator, Bill Watterson, had been drawing the strip for 2 years before I discovered it. During that time, he had hit his artistic and storytelling stride, resulting in a Calvin and Hobbes that was instantly thought-provoking, eye-catching, and funny in a way I had never seen before in the comics section. I loved the relationship between the boy, Calvin, and his pet tiger, Hobbes, which was at turns playful, combative, philosophical, and fantastical. They acted and sounded like real best friends. You could feel the depth of caring and understanding between them, although their friendship was constrained within 3 or 4 black and white panels. In my mind, it was the perfect strip. Calvin and Hobbes did everything that I always wanted to do. They time-traveled, dug for dinosaur bones in the backyard, and built legions of abominable snowmen. And they always had each other, which made all those adventures even more fun and exciting. Every day I would cut out the strip and paste it into a black composition notebook, now lost somewhere in my mother's attic, waiting for my future children to discover it. That was my way of joining in and enjoying their fun. I loved that I could relate to Calvin like no other comic character. Charlie Brown was always too depressed, Garfield was too obsessive-compulsive, and Hagar the Horrible was never violent and bloodthirsty enough. On the other hand, Calvin had a wildly creative mind, a devil's flair for mischief, and a flamethrower-powered desire to go on as many adventures as possible before his mother made him go to bed. And with Hobbes by his side, Calvin always had someone to play with, talk to, and comfort him. Sometimes Watterson would sketch out memorable parables that drove their point home with a chuckle, often at Calvin's unwitting expense, and at other times he gave us straight-up gags, explored family dynamics, or sent his intrepid duo hurtling through time and space, and over cliffs. At other times, Watterson made us scramble for the encyclopedia and the dictionary to answer perplexing questions such as, what does Weltanschauung mean? Is that really what a pteranodon looks like? And who are the Australopithecus woman and Paul Gauguin? But what he always did best was inspire his readers to use their imagination. He wanted you to think about what happened in the slender white spaces between the frames of the strip and beyond its ending. No matter what magic Watterson concocted, there was rarely a moment when the strip felt forced or, worse yet, meaningless. The true measure of art intended for children is whether it resonates on a deeper level when you interpret it as an adult. J.R.R. Tolkien's books, Walt Disney's movies, and the soundtrack to Yellow Submarine all took on a new life when I crossed the threshold from youth into relative maturity, and so did Calvin and Hobbes. I still learn new things about the work and about myself when I burrow into my old paperback collections on those rare, truly lazy Sundays. Rivaled only by Garfield and Peanuts, Calvin and Hobbes was one of the most popular comic strips in the world when Watterson suddenly retired it on New Year's Eve, 1995. His departure, as well as that of Gary Larson's The Far Side and Burke Breathitt's Outland that same year, signaled the end of the last golden age of newspaper comics. Though there have been some worthy successors to take their places, newspaper comics have failed to collectively seize the zeitgeist and capture the public's imagination in the same way.